All right, so Francis Ngannou was on the Ariel Helwani show. I know I'm doing a lot of interviews about this Ariel Helwani show, but for a kind of slow weekend when it comes to MMA, he had a really good show. Both of the shows were good. Ariel's show was good, and so was Luke's show. It was really, really good. And I don't say that often about Luke's show. Luke's show is that one's tough, but it was really, really good on Monday. Really good on Monday. It was just a good show. You'd have to go in there and listen to get it, but it was a great show. But Francis Ngannou was on Ariel Helwani's show. He is slated to fight Curtis Blades in China. Great matchup for me. I think that Curtis Blades needs to get that one back. For real. Curtis Blades definitely needs to get that one back. He lost to that guy via doctor stoppage. So, it should be a great matchup. But Francis Ngannou basically said that him and his old camp in France, they have mended fences and they have not parted ways. They have decided to come back and work with each other. And he is training in France to prepare for this fight in China against Curtis Blades. Now, I'm glad that the guy was big enough to go back to his roots a little bit. And he said it in his own words. He used those words, go back to my roots. That's what he said. So I'm going to say it too. I'm glad he went back to his roots. The UFCPI, they haven't churned out anything except for the UFCPI. I haven't seen anything from them. I haven't seen any results necessarily. And I know that it's not supposed to be a training facility, but nobody has told the fighters that. See, the UFCPI is still telling the fighters, come on down, train. Francis Ngannou trained there, lost. Darren Till trained there, lost. And these two fighters, it was their first loss ever in MMA. First loss in MMA in their professional MMA career after going to the UFCPI. Kevin Lee, after going to the UFCPI, he lost the fight and he missed weight. He got staph infection, lost to Tony Ferguson, and then he went in there and he missed weight in his next fight. Now, he did have a spectacular it was a great performance, but he did miss weight. Right? Claudia was over there training. She got lucky by getting that decision win over, getting the decision nod over Carla Esparza. Who else has been over there? Luke Rockhold's been training, not training necessarily over there, but he's been spending time over there. I'm just iffy about that UFCPI. So I'm glad that Francis Ngannou decided not to do the UFCPI. I didn't mind him training at Syndicate. If he was training at Syndicate MMA, I think that that's a pretty good gym, pretty good team that they have over there. But this guy, the guy who his old training camp, his old coach, these guys knew how to get him to finish fights, get him to throw punches, get him to feel confident to do the unthinkable out there, basically. To throw the heavy leather. I understand that Francis Ngannou, he said that he was really afraid. He said he was scared, and he elaborated on it a bit. He said he was scared in his last fight. He was scared that he was going to get tired. He said he was scared he was going to get tired. And you got to just appreciate the honesty of it, but it makes you wonder, I hope that this guy can get it back. Absolute specimen, man. Truly just a specimen. He had brilliant, beautiful highlight reel knockouts. One for the ages. They're going to be showing those knockouts on top 10 knockouts forever. You can see his knockouts. It'll probably be 3 of them on one of those top 10 knockout shows. So he's back with his old camp. We'll see how it pans out. Let's see when this China card is. Dana White has banished him off to China. He was a Vegas fighter. And now Dana sent him off to China. And Francis Ngannou also said that Dana hasn't spoken to him. He said they still have not squashed the beef that was going on. He said he still doesn't understand why this guy was kind of just bashing him on every outlet that he possibly could. He would like to talk to Dana, but he said he doesn't know how to have that conversation. I believe that he was also trying to say that he doesn't have Dana's phone number to call him or hit him up. He doesn't know how to literally initiate the conversation with Dana White. And that's exactly probably how Dana wanted it to be. Probably how he wanted it to be. I hate to say it, but Francis Ngannou really got played. He got played out, but he knows it. He said, when I'm winning, you're all over me and you're saying I'm the next superstar and this and that. But then I lose a couple of fights and now I'm cocky and you're bashing me on every single outlet. He's right. He's right. Francis got played. But it seems like he's starting to see the light. It seems like he's starting to go back to what brought him to greatness. He never, ever should have sold his team out the way that he did, in my opinion. I don't think he should have done that. I know that what he was thinking in his head. I get what he was thinking in his head. I'm not going to voice it, but I know what he was thinking in his head. I hope that he knows that he has been proven wrong. That is not you, there are some weird ideologies that people have about each other. And this one, Dana White is not the American dream. And that's the nice way of putting it. But Dana White for Francis Ngannou, I think Francis thought that he was the American dream for him. I know what the American dream is, but since I am American, it's hard for me to really know what it is because I've always lived in America. I've always been here. So it's hard for me to understand what a foreigner thinks when they see America. I know there's there's tons of amenities and all of this stuff when you're coming from certain countries, but there's a dark side. There's an underbelly. And you can just read about it in the history books and you can find out the underbelly, the truth about everything. You can just read and find it out. But the thing is, that's not everybody is doing that, and not everybody is privy to that type of information. Not everybody is privy to that information. So they grow up looking at certain people thinking that type of person is going to help them out of their troubles and they're going to help me get to this place or that place. I hope now he has seen it. No. It's all about the money. It's all about the UFC. It's all about them filling their pockets. If you can help them do that, then they're down with you. If you cannot help them do that, then they're tossing you to the side. You have to roll with your team. Roll with your team. Thank your team. Be thankful for your team. Appreciate your team. Win with your team and lose with your team. You have to do it. You really do. You have to do it. You have to be loyal. As long as your team is loyal to you, Now, I don't know if this guy's maybe done something shady to Francis in the past or something, but as long as your team is loyal, you got to roll with your team. The people who get you to the spotlight are the people who are going to help you through that spotlight, because that limelight gets hot. And when you start sweating up there under those hot lights, only your team will be there to dab you off, to dry your sweat off your brow. It'll be only the team that brought you there because they're rolling with you like a family. So I don't know if I'm going for Francis Ngannou in this fight. Actually, I know that I'm not. I'm going for Curtis Blaydes, but I would definitely have to look at the footage and kind of see, maybe I might do a fight breakdown for it, and just see I just like Curtis Blaydes. That's why I'm going for Curtis Blaydes. But when I think about it and actually do my fight picks aren't usually based on who I like. So when I go back through and look at some old fights and, look at some footage and just try to see who actually has the edge, then I'll go ahead and do the fight picks for that. Okay, let me go ahead and say, this card is on November 25th. UFC Fight Night 141. I'm not sure if it's going to be on Fight Pass or not, because it's definitely going to be in China. Let's see if he's been banished to Fight Pass. That would be really bad. All right, I don't know if it's going to be on Fight Pass or not. I think it is, though. I think it is on Fight Pass. But this should be a great matchup. It's the main event. Great matchup. November 25th, UFC Fight Night 141 out in Beijing, China. I'm looking forward to it. I hope that Francis Ngannou, he's gotten his spirit back. He's gotten his confidence back. And because I know Curtis Blaydes is coming in there pissed off he feels like he's been ducked for a title shot, and he's mad that they brought back Brock Lesnar and DC's going to be fighting Brock Lesnar. Curtis Blaydes is pretty pissed about that. And he's been looking good in his last couple of fights. He's strung together quite a few wins. He's looking good. So it'll definitely be a scrap. If Francis Ngannou is ready to get back in there, it's going to be a scrap. If not, I can see him just running away again, cowering away. I hope not, though. Anyways, guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts in the comment section.